Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. This video is about how to apply for your ArtistsInspire Grant. So you've now had a look at our catalogs and maybe you've already made a choice of artists that you'd like to work with. You've probably been to the Connect with Artists section and gotten in touch with the artist, or perhaps you've reached out to Barbara, our grants administrator, and asked some questions or gotten some guidance from me, Guillaume Jabbour, the project manager, about who you could work with. And hopefully you've reached out by email to the artist and started communicating about when this project could take place. So now you're ready to apply for the grant. If you're not sure who you would like to work with, or you're having trouble getting in touch with an artist, please do reach out and we can help you to select an artist that will be aligned with your project. So let's say that you've decided which artist you will be working with and you are ready to apply for your ArtistsInspire Grant. So if you go back to the main website, ArtistsInspire.ca, and right up here, there's a header that says School Application in the menu. So if I click on School Application, now if you're returning and you already have the email address and the password that already signed in to do this in previous years or earlier in the year, then you can go ahead and log in right now and make changes to your application or apply for a new year. If you're not sure if your school has already signed up for this grant, there are two things you should do. The first thing you should do is speak to your school principal or ask around and see if anybody knows who the contact person is at your school for the ArtistsInspire Grants project. There's always one contact person that is used to fill out this email address and create a password so that changes can be made. Now that contact person sometimes changes because a teacher doesn't want to do it the following year, or maybe the teacher changes school, or for whatever reason a contact person must change. If that is the case, get in touch with Barbara von Thaten, and it says that right here, you can do that where it says register here. And here's the email again, ArtistsInspireGrants@quebecelan.org, or the phone number that you can call to have a discussion and figure out what we can do about changing the contact person. If this is your first time here, which is how I'm going to approach this, then what you're going to need to do is to create a new profile. And so it says right here, only one person can register to be the school's contact person. So if you have any problems, run into any hurdles, please contact us and we'll definitely support your registration process. So I'm going to enter my information here and I'm going to put in my email. You'll of course put in whatever email you use at work, whichever one is best for you. And I'm going to hit register. And now it says registration successful. Please check your email to set your password. A link to set your password will be sent to your email address right away. So I'm going to go to my email right now and get that link. So here I am in my email, and here is the link to set my password. It says visit the following address. So I'm going to click on that link. And a password has been set for me, but I can set it myself. So I'm going to set it for something very easy. For right now, of course, I don't recommend you use this email. I'm putting ArtistsInspire123, confirm use of weak password. You'll, of course, use a much stronger password. And I will reset my password. And now I can log in. ArtistsInspire123 with an exclamation point, and I can now log in to my application. So here I am in the school application form, and I'm going to sign in to the Cattevic School Board. I'm going to pretend that I'm at the Cattevic school board. And I'm going to sign in to Jagudak School because I know that they haven't signed up for their grant yet this year. So of course you will put the name of the school that you are signing up for, and I'll do submit and next. Data updated successfully. And now I will enter the information for my school. So this is my name, which I'm putting here. Principal name, I'm just going to put principal example. Principal email, I'm just putting random information here. And myself, I am the teacher. And here you have some information about the school grant, which I'll let you read on your own. And here are 2 checkboxes that you can select. First one is that I have the principal's permission to register the school for the ArtistsInspire Grants project. A simple conversation can make that happen. And so I'll check that box. And then if you would like to subscribe to the ArtistsInspire mailing lists, then, and I definitely encourage you to do so you can be up to date with all of our projects. And submit and next. So here I am now, where I can select which year I would like to sign up for an ArtistsInspire Grants project. Now there's only 1 year announced right now. However, sometimes when we have overlapping projects, you may have other options here. I just do want to mention that there is a linked document here which describes our travel expense guidelines. These guidelines are important for when you are selecting an artist. It's a good idea to become familiar with what is allowed in terms of travel. There are cases when if an artist is required to travel far, we may ask for the school to chip in, or if the school is connected with an organization that can perhaps help out with the travel. Of course, it's possible to combine funding with another funding source at your school to make this project happen. If you're having any issues with planning, or if you have questions about the travel and expenses guide, please do reach out. This is also important in regards to the materials required for a project. And so it's no problem at all for materials to be purchased up to a maximum of $300 tax included from the grant, which the artist will be responsible for purchasing and delivering. And of course, the materials then become the property of the school afterwards. The materials should be required for the specific project that the school will be realizing with the artist. Now, it's important to realize that if $300 or up to $300 of the grant are used for materials, then there's less money for workshop facilitation for the artist. So that might mean that the artist will work with your classes fewer times. So sometimes what schools will do is they'll find the money from another funding source to cover the materials so that they can maximize the artist's time at the school or facilitating virtual workshops. So I'm going to go back to my application here, and it says, do you want to participate in the ArtistsInspire Grants for the 21-2022 school year? And the question is yes. So here it says, have you already selected and communicated with an eligible artist who is profiled on our website? So either you say yes or no. The easiest situation is when the schools or teacher or contact person has already communicated with the artist and has figured out that yes, this project is possible. If you're not sure about communicating with the artist, please do reach out and we can help you with that. If you have not communicated with an artist yet, then please just select no, and we'll be in touch to try and offer some support in regards to booking an artist. So here's a note about selecting an artist that resides in your school board's region, as our travel costs have been greatly limited. So we do encourage schools to work with artists in their own region. Travel is possible on a case-by-case basis. So here's where you would put the name of the artist that you will be working with. Now, if this is an artist from our website that appears in the Connect with Artists section, then you will simply put the artist names. I'm going to put Productions Oracle Alisa. I don't want to make a spelling mistake. So I'm going to go back to the Connect with Artists section. And make sure that I spell it correctly. Alisa Kuzmarov. Here I am back in my application. And the discipline is film and video. Now, this is where the conversation is handy with the artist, because you can have an idea of around when you would like to realize this project. I'm going to put March 2022. Obviously, this is flexible, and if things change, you can just let us know and we'll update your application, or you can update it yourself. Will your creative experience be in person, virtual, or hybrid of the two? I'm going to put hybrid. You put whatever your circumstances. Total number of workshops and number of groups the artist will be working with. Please keep in mind, an artist must see a group of students more than one time. So we have a few minimums here, minimum requirements for the ArtistsInspire Grants project. One of those requirements is that an artist works with at least 2 groups of students or 2 classes. It could be more, but our minimum is 2 classes. If you have a specific circumstance where your school is very small and you have something very particular about your school, please do reach out and we'll definitely have a conversation and see what we can do. Another minimum is that each artist works with the classes more than one time. So a minimum of 2 times. We value the importance of the artist and the students connecting, and the students having access to the artist, asking questions, understanding what it means to be a professional artist, and understanding also what it means to practice in this discipline. And for that to happen, there needs to be a few visits. And so our guidelines for how many actual workshops, or how many visits, if you will, is 8 to 12. So 8 to 12 workshops of about an hour or a period long in total for one ArtistsInspire grant of $1,500. So what that means is, let's say your artist is going to work with 3 classes. Well, if we follow the 8 to 12 total workshop model, that means each class could work 3 or 4 times with the artist. And so let's say they work 3 times, 3 classes, that's 9 workshops in all. So that would be a nice project. Or 4 times, that's 12 workshops in all. Now, every artist is different, every case is specific, and there are particular requirements for each one. And so please get in touch if you're not sure, or insert the information and we'll follow up to let you know if it's possible. But our general guidelines are 8 to 12 workshops in all, with a minimum of 2 classes, a minimum of 2 visits with each class. I'm going to say 9 workshops with 3 groups. So that would be 3 parts, a 3-part workshop with 3 different groups, 9 in all. Approximately how many students will be working on this project? I'm going to just make a random number here, 65. Grades, I'm going to say cycle 2 and 3 elementary. So this is where you give a little blurb. Sometimes the artist will describe this in an email and you can copy and paste it. or you'll get the information from conversing with the artist. We will create videos with guidance from Productions Oracle. And of course, you can go as in-depth as you like. This is a piece of information that's important to remember, that the ArtistsInspire Grant is paid directly to the artist by Learn as soon as the school completes the school feedback session, which happens at the end of the project. And if you look up here, actually on the website, it says submit school feedback. So when you're coming back here and you've logged in again, then you're going to be submitting a similar form, which I'll show in another video afterwards. This is another brief explanation of the materials, which could be purchased from the grant by the artist and delivered by the artist. This describes that you will receive an approval letter that states the travel expenses that the artist is eligible for the grant. So depending on where they're traveling to or where they're traveling from, there may be day trip requirements or overnight travel, which is possible with pre-approval from the ArtistsInspire Grants team. So once again, this is to acknowledge that you have read and accept the terms in the school guide for artist fees and expenses, which we looked at earlier. And you can check that off once you've read it and understood. And then I'm going to click Submit Next. Of course, if I've missed anything, it will tell me that I should go back and fill out that information. And then it tells me that I have completed the application and we look forward to supporting your school. I should get an approval email shortly from our grants administrator, who will then also confirm the travel eligibility for this project. So once you're done this part, you can click Submit below to get approval. And now I see a summary of my applications from previous years, and you can see that I haven't gotten any. And I can always go in and edit my application. And so it takes me right back here and I can submit and next. And make changes at any time to my application. As I just saw, I had a typo. And that's it for applying to an ArtistsInspire Grants project. Good luck with your project, and please do reach out if you have any questions.